Good morrow and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm not sure how you got here, but certainly I'm glad you came. And if you are new here, then definitely you're in for a treat. With me, as always, on our Thursdays is my very dear, very close friend, damn near sister, Emily Hanhan, whose name I can actually say when I'm not overly excited. Um,
I was giggling because I was like, "Oh, get the full intro treat here." My apologies,
listen.
I couldn't even hold it together. I was just like, "Okay, Audra did not come to play."
This is a big topic. I am nervous as all get out. Please pay attention to the pinned post before I get started with a lot of the housekeeping. The most important piece of housekeeping I want to stress is that this is not a hate stream. What we are not going to
No.
do is in any way, shape, or form denigrate or treat other creators like shit. If that happens, you will be hidden. And I may consider like fixing that at a later date, but that's not what my space is for under zero
No.
circumstances. I don't like that because I think about how if I were a creator, or, which I am, if somebody else was just allowing people to talk shit about me on their live streams or their channels, I would feel a certain way about them, especially if it just continues. So just please make sure you're not
Yes.
doing that. As usual, huge shout out to both of our patrons. Had such a good time for movie night. Like, thank y'all for coming.
Yes. Another one coming up this Sunday. Y'all
No, not
should
this Sunday. I think it'll be next
next
Sunday. So
Sunday.
for
Okay.
those of us who aren't
Apologies.
into the Independence Day, we will be celebrating Vin Diesel. So that's a thing.
You should be there. You should be there. Also, respect the mods. We're going to thank the mods, but respect them. So if they
Yes.
say something directed at you or in your direction, please listen to them. Otherwise,
Yes, because the mods are really here. I think a lot of y'all may not know, but we try to keep very close relationships with our mods. They're not just people that like do this willingly. Thank y'all for doing it for free,
they do
but
it
they're also
willingly,
yeah,
but
but yeah, but they do it willingly and for free. And they're people that we keep in close contact with on a regular basis to make sure that we're, one, not being overly sensitive, because I can be a sensitive ass bitch at times, and that we're being fair. So please keep that in mind. And thank all of you who are here in the live stream. And finally, lurkers and those of you watching on the replay, thank you. I've always wanted to do a finger gun. I'm so sorry. Just just deal with it. So today's subject, y'all, we turned around, we turned our backs for 3 seconds or a year in some cases.
it's the same,
And
really. Time is a farce.
it seems like everybody's coming back. And I've seen videos talking about redemption arcs, which I don't believe in those. That's bullshit and it's made up. Let's
Yes.
just be real about what those really are. It's not a redemption arc because they're not going to redeem themselves. Uh,
We also don't live in a movie. Just
we
going to
do not.
say.
This is not a movie. And I think that's a big thing with all of these creators who have done some really, really dirt deeds. The question comes is like, do we forgive them? Who's allowed to forgive them? And how do we move forward? And as a creator, I can speak to it. Me and Emily can both speak to
Yeah.
it from a creator standpoint as well as a subscriber standpoint. And we'll also be paying attention to y'all. Thank you, Gabby. And we'll be paying attention to y'all as well. We will also have a special guest, hopefully joining us in about
Yes.
halfway midpoint through this thing. So, oh my God, that is it. Vision of You hit it right there. People are acting like they are guest stars returning on a sitcom.
So
Facts.
perfectly said. Just so perfectly, like succinctly said. Yes, exactly.
Exactly, because the first point I really want to get into when we talk about um, YouTube creators and their misdeeds and their quote unquote redemption arcs and for them coming back, um, we need to talk about the fact that unlike celebrities, there's no one pushing them anywhere. if you are a
Yeah.
celebrity and you screw up, you have teams of people, you have studios that won't work with you have projects that you get dropped from. Like your whole world stops. Commercials that you were going to do, you're no longer doing them. Movies that you were going
Exactly.
to be in, you're no longer going to be in them. Sometimes, depending on how bad it is, like with like music stars and whatnot, like Marilyn Manson and one, your label will drop you. Like you lose all touch, you
Yeah.
lose everything. You don't get to just be like, I'm taking a quick break until y'all forget, and I'm back. So because this is a self-funded thing, and that goes for us as well. I could
Yeah.
completely screw up, disappear for a month, come back and just be like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
because there's nothing that is done. Like YouTube doesn't drop you as a creator.
And
So like you can still make videos.
even when there are creators that have done bad enough things where we think that they are demonetized, we don't have any actual proof, in my opinion, because I don't think just being like, well, there's not ads in their videos,
Yeah.
highly unregulated. And I think the thing is that we're all like, yes, there are a lot of big creators that do have teams, and there can be repercussions. I also want to say, whenever we're talking tonight, if we make a comparison, none of this concrete, like none of this is absolutes. There are connections between
Yeah.
like celebrity, like Hollywood, and influencer is how I would compare the two.
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, they're very different. And the fact that for actors, if they lose projects, if they are uninsurable, as we've talked about behind, like before this with like Robert Downey Jr. Thank you. Like there are actual big forces saying, not right now. You can
Correct.
come back, maybe, but not right now. We're not doing this. And
Yeah. Cuz
YouTube
like I
doesn't
don't
do that.
Yeah, because like actors have to be insured anyway. Period.
Yes.
Every actor is insured for one reason or another. If you have a lot of problems, though, you become uninsurable on the set. Like they won't insure you. Like the set won't insure you, and because they're like, listen, we can't guarantee that we're gonna make it through the movie and all of this stuff if you don't do whatever. So you don't get to be in a movie. But with YouTube, like so many of y'all were saying, like Sharon brought up that it's almost a consequence free platform. And keep in mind that just because somebody's not monetized doesn't mean YouTube isn't making money. Because many of us
Yes.
have lived the lives, and some are currently doing so as a channel that doesn't actually make any money, right? But
Mm-hmm.
YouTube still makes money and still puts ads in your videos,
One
regardless of the
of
fact that you aren't monetized.
one of the updates to their terms of services in the last, I would say, 6 months, maybe sooner, is
Mm-hmm.
literally you don't have any control of whether or not your content is monetized. So,
Correct.
like, even if you are a creator where you're like, this, for whatever reason, if it's, you want to give it away, you don't want any money changing of hands,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter because YouTube just has, they're unregulated yet also have all the control. Like they
Correct.
work together.
Right.
So there's not, you don't have a choice in that matter. And so why would they take all that away? If they were to give a consequence to a creator to say, well, you're not monetized moving forward, we're not going to put ads on your channel for at least 6 months, they're losing money.
Yeah.
Like it's, YouTube is more harmed in that equation than the creator.
Yeah, because think about it this way, and this is just like a quick aside. When it wasn't until I got monetized that some of these like random like I had copyright free music, which is kind of a scam, but it's fine. It is what it is. We'll talk about it in
Yeah,
another stream,
that's a
but
different day.
I had copyright free music. And then once I become monetized, suddenly all of these people who are no longer with whatever company I was using to get that copyright free music, suddenly they're trying to claim my videos. Now, me being the bitch I am, because I am, I'm just like, oh, okay, well, that video is now private. Good luck. Because
I
I
mean,
don't play
that's
that.
how it works. And I'm saying we're all bitches. I feel
Yeah,
like
because it's
every
not
YouTuber
strikes, it's claims.
is
And I'm like, what you're not going to
yeah.
do is come over here and like take something that was once free and then like come after me. So I'm like, nope, it's now
Yeah.
private. Thank you. Good. Thank you for trying. And I think because I do that, I feel like more like less and less of them come after me for it because they realize I'm like, I'm not going to give you my income. I don't care. But
I don't know. My like like when I've reached out for advice about it, most everyone, and I'm not saying I have a huge population. It's not a huge research pool, but it's like
mm-hmm,
just private it and re-upload with different music. And I'm like, okay,
mm-hmm,
because I don't want them. But like that, it's just I don't know. It's just interesting to see how like there are all these ways that YouTube is making money or people are making money off of YouTube content that's not the creator,
correct.
which
So
is
like
why
when you
YouTube
fuck
doesn't want
up,
to take it down or
yeah.
end your contract with them.
So for real, like when you fuck up, there's YouTube is still making money off of your content because you haven't necessarily been demonetized. Most people aren't demonetized. Most
Yeah,
scandals, they're not demonetized from the scandal. So YouTube's still making money. And guess what? The creator is still making passive money.
exactly. You can go away
So
for a year
a whole year.
and you are probably making more money than most people. I If
Hmm.
you're already a big creator, if you're already in the
Hmm.
millions of subscribers, that passive revenue in my opinion is like super high. It's like when you discover that the way rich people are rich is because they invest their money and so their money is passively making them money. That's
Hmm.
what that feels like. It's
Yeah.
like you already have a huge catalog of videos. You were on the ball, probably putting in a fair amount of ads, all of this and that, and people are missing you. That's the other part. People are missing you. Some people are that were not like you were the victim. And so they will go back to rewatch these old videos to wait for the return of this person.
Yes.
Um,
And then new
yeah,
people who come to YouTube. And then you also have to think about all the people who like for instance, I get surprised every time and any time that there's a creator that's significantly larger than me, and one of y'all will show up in the comments being like, "Oh, thanks for introducing me to Nima. I'm gonna go watch." I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" Like it
yeah.
boggles my mind, right? So like that happens every day. So there's people every day who had never seen certain creators' videos. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but
There's a
they've
lot of
never
people that fit into this category, but
yeah. So
we'll
they
get
like they've
there.
never seen them before and it gets recommended or somebody says something or it just shows up because it's like one of like the algorithm pretty much knows who like what videos to pair with each other.
Yeah.
So if you like this video, it's gonna keep going and then before you know,
And
there you
they're
are.
always going to be at the top of the search function. So if you are just like discovering YouTube, thank you, Cup of Joe, and you're like, oh, I was curious about this random eyeshadow palette, and yeah, it came out 3 years ago, but let me just see what's out there.
Yes.
The creators with millions of subscribers are going to be at the top of the search results. They just
Thank you.
are. So now you're like, oh, I didn't know Nima. Oh, and then you're off watching all of their videos because you're curious.
Yeah.
Um, and and I think this all ties into like I don't know. To me, this point was the point when we were having these conversations before this stream. And this has been going on for weeks. We've been talking about this.
Right?
This was the point where I was like, that's it. To me, this is like the crux of it, of a lot of this as creators, from people that have one subscriber, zero subscribers, to those that have a billion or whatever. We all edit ourselves.
We do.
And this was like a discovery Audra again shared with me, and I was like, it's an obvious discovery, but I was like, especially if you're comparing like influencers versus Hollywood.
Mhm.
Hollywood doesn't like actors don't get a choice in a lot of ways of how they're edited. They don't get to
Correct.
control every single edit. Is the difference actually?
Correct.
We control every single edit.
Every single one. I literally like your perception of me is edited how I want it to look, which
Yeah.
is like it's kind of scary to actually say it out loud. Like your perception of me is how I edited it.
Well, and it depends because everyone, the thing is that what somebody takes away about you is controlled by how you've edited it. Because
Sure.
there are plenty of creators
Mm.
that somebody else will talk about loving.
Yeah.
And I see the same videos and I'm like,
I don't
okay,
like them.
that's fine, but I don't get along with them. I don't like them. But
Yeah, but like
we're seeing
every
the same
creative, we edit
people.
ourselves.
Yeah.
We if I say something that is inappropriate, if I say something because my old ass is used to like some seriously not good today words,
Yes.
that I will use from I'm not gonna lie, like there are occasions it's not like it's part of my regular everyday lexicon, but I will slip into something and say a word where I'm like, ooh, I can't say that, that's messed up. I remove that, right?
Exactly.
I know I said that and I'm like, because first of all, it doesn't make sense for me to leave something harmful in to be like, see, I'm relatable. I screw up. That's dumb. That doesn't make any
No.
sense. But it also keeps me aware of like, hey, I shouldn't use those words. I forgot like what happened. Where did 9-year-old me come from to use this word, right?
And I was gonna say, I was like, for a lot of like, if you've ever, and I always compare it to if you've ever worked a long day or had a long week, and you are at work and you are tired or you are just mentally strained, and you say something that you wouldn't normally say in front of
Yeah.
coworkers or your manager, and then you're just like, let me hope I don't get fired. We
Yeah.
have the opportunity to edit that out. Because for me,
Yeah.
sometimes when I've been filming too much, I've been filming a lot, all of a sudden I'm just like spewing garbage. Not offensive garbage, but I'm just saying things that don't make any sense or revert back, like you said, to 9-year-old me. And I'm like, I don't need to say that, so I'm just gonna chop that out.
Yeah, I mean, because like that's how they edit themselves. They edit
Yeah.
themselves to look like, oh, and that's the thing that we have to keep in mind when people are sitting being like, oh, they look strong or they look this way. Well, of course they do. They edited themselves to look like that. They made sure that they looked confident and healthy and ready. They removed any parts where they're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, here we go. The amount of times that you have to repeat things from, I often don't. I'm not gonna lie about that. I often will not. I'm like, I will try it 2 or 3 times, and then after that, I'm like, fuck it. This is how you're getting it. I
You're like,
can't
I'm
do it
done.
again. I can't
Well,
do it again.
and even bloopers, that's still editing.
Thank
People
you.
that are like composing, like there are layers of it, of like creators that have a relatability because of self-deprecation or of bloopers or of this or of that. That's all manufactured. And none of this means that's not who they are, but that's tailored to what they
Yeah,
want to present to the world. And
yeah,
I hope you all can also understand that when we say that, like, the power of this, in my opinion, one of the reasons why it really clicked was like, we all edit ourselves. Everyone, if you have a social media account,
thank
if you have an Instagram, Facebook, whatever, you're not putting up every picture. You're not putting up the pictures that make you feel bad or make you feel like you're less attractive than you are. Because guess what? Everyone watching here is fucking hot. Um, like, so we all do it in some capacity. It's just that I think creators have a level of control to it that feeds into the toxicity of it in some ways.
yeah, and yes, I
Yeah.
do feel like this was. I honestly like in some ways, don't take this the wrong way, but in some ways, I did feel bad for Tana because Tana was not prepared for someone else to edit her. She
Yes.
was not prepared for a company who's doing their thing for their views to edit her for the views that were going to be good for them.
Yeah.
Because Tana being nice or kind or sweet or whatever wasn't going to make the show.
No one's
What
going to
they
watch
needed
that.
was, Tana throwing her fits and being rude and being nasty and forgetting to show up and forgetting to do all of the things, right? So, in that way, like this is where YouTube creators need to be very careful about trying to like go mainstream and especially mainstream reality because you don't have the final edit. So since we get to edit ourselves, like when Emily was talking about bloopers, like literally that is just like I'm making a conscious choice to show you like one, this video didn't come together well. Like this was a
This
mess.
was a struggle.
Yeah, like I was struggling to get to where I needed to get. I was struggling over this. I was struggling over that. Sometimes it's just me like listening to music as I set things up and I'm like listening on my headphones and singing and doing my thing. But I make a choice to like put that in at the end so that it's just like a little something fun or whatever. And if I don't have them, I don't make them. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like if I don't have them, there are videos that literally end without them because I just don't have them. And that's
Yeah.
okay. Like
But I think that level of like the control of it all, of like we edit everything that hits the internet.
mhm.
If we're looking extra vulnerable, if you apologize, if you have a video up where you're crying for 10 minutes when you calculate all of the crying moments, that was
Mhm.
a choice. If you have a apology video with too many jump cuts, some people are going to criticize that, but that was a choice because you wanted to cut out moments that made you uncomfortable, and that's
Yeah.
valid. The whole apology, that's a whole other
We'll be
thing,
talking about that at a later date.
but I think the thing is that um, a lot of people forget that a lot of people think they know the people they're watching. They really feel like
Yes.
they know them, and so they don't understand that they know the edited version. They know the character presented as Emily. They know the
Yes.
character presented as Audra. And I fall into that trap too, where I'm like, oh, they're my friend. I would love to be friends with, or like, I would love to be friends with them. And
Let's
then
be
I'm like, I
friends.
don't I know what they've shown me. And even if they've shown me vulnerability, even if they've shown me what feels like truth to who they are, because I'm that same kind of person. I've put up videos about my mental health. I talk about it regularly. It brings me some level of like, it brings me good feelings, to be honest. And that's part of why I
Yeah.
do it. That's also part of what, like, that goes into the whole thing. That's how I exist on this internet world, in my little world of it.
Yeah.
But
And
like, oh, go ahead.
no good.
No, no, no.
And just notice how many creators, like I know I've seen Abby do it. I have seen Hannah, Smoky Glow do it, where we will say, and I've done it, where we will say, this is the third time I filmed this video.
Yep.
Letting you know, number one, we like I feel like that's like that fourth wall that we're breaking, being like, listen, I just need you to know I filmed this several times. I didn't like any of them. So like think about that
Yes.
too when we're saying that, like I filmed this video, like this is the third time, this is the fourth time,
I just did
this is
that
the
with
second
my
time.
like life update. Like, I
Yes.
filmed that, like, I think it was the third time when I find, and it's just like, does anybody need to know that? No, but it felt like, wait, I also wanted you to know my struggle. Wanted you
Yeah,
to know
we're
my like
like
filming struggle.
yeah, breaking the illusion that like first of all, I don't do scripts, okay? I have a notebook
Same.
and I have like points maybe
Literally
that I
same.
want to cover, but I don't do a whole fucking script, y'all. I don't have it in me. I can't cuz like every time I do it it becomes a mess. But keep in mind that like we're actively letting you know that like not only is this the third time I am filming this, but there were two other versions that I did that I thought were garbage and I didn't give it to you. So when these creators are coming back, we have to keep in mind like how like the stuff that we did see where we were like, "Oh, that's hella inappropriate." What really kind of freaks me out is like what we didn't see in those
I was gonna say.
extremely inappropriate videos for the Shane Dawson situation. Like what didn't we see?
Yeah.
What was removed
What was
to
on the
get us
cutting
to
room
this,
floor?
which was gross?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like this was
Exactly.
gross. What did they remove prior to saying like this will work? This is funny. That's what like starts messing with my head is when these kinds of people come back. It becomes scary to think about all the stuff that they were like somebody had mentioned earlier. I feel like maybe it was Smiley, I'm not sure, but imagine all the stuff that they like this is the stuff that they made it through editing, but I'm like, but what didn't make it?
And I think because we're creators, I don't know if other people feel this way, but I think because we both edit videos, we both edit our videos, like that comes into my mind more because understand how much footage it takes to get to that length of a video. For me, how much footage it takes. And for some of
Mm-hmm.
my friends, because we have conversations about like, oh, you'll be like, oh, I just filmed for 45 minutes. And then I see the finished video and it's whatever length. But when I was not creating, I don't know if I really was thinking totally about that, about like, okay, but what are you not showing me if this is what you're
Yeah.
showing me?
Like y'all don't like here's some of y'all don't see like, well you never see the actual like I've had full on just burnout meltdowns on camera and been like
Same.
I'm not filming like because I'll start filming and I'll be doing all this stuff and then I just have a meltdown. I'm like, I've been talking for fucking hours. I'm so upset. Why is this a thing? Why do I have to do this? Why can't I just rest? Like the whole thing. Nobody sees that. Nobody sees
Yeah,
the whole break, the whole meltdown where I just scream at the camera, upset that I can't get it right, that I don't want to do this right now, but I can't rest because my brain wants me to do this, but I don't want to do this right. And it's this vicious cycle. So when it comes to these creators coming back and being like, "I'm back, babes." We have to like think about all the things that we saw that we were like, yeah, this is not good behavior.
yeah,
And then we have to start asking ourselves, like, this is what they put out as they thought that this was acceptable. What didn't they put in? Like, what is
exactly.
on the cutting room? And most of that footage you will never see ever. It's nowhere.
No,
Like, that's the thing
it's
about this.
no one's to
It's nowhere.
see, to be honest,
Yeah,
because
but
like I've
it's
had those
nowhere because
nightmares too. Oh yeah, like it's deleted and
yeah,
like
I like
gone
that's what I was saying. Like
forever.
we clean up the card, it's done, it's empty, it's gone.
But like I've had like nightmares. Like if I like there have been times when I filmed a video and something in the middle happened and I just had a meltdown. But I was able to finish the video, but it took me like an extra, I don't know, half an hour or whatever to like to chill out. But a good 15 or 20 minutes of that meltdown was in there. And I've
Yeah.
had nightmares about fucking up my editing, messing up my editing,
Yes.
and some of that ending up in the video. I've had
Yes.
active anxiety filled nightmares about like, if they hear me yelling, like I can't, and you know, I just said, I do have a level of vulnerability in what I put out, what I talk about, but like that, what I call my tantrums
Yeah.
on a bad day, I don't want other people to see,
I don't want
honestly,
anybody seeing that.
anyone, especially not in a video.
No,
Like
I would be so upset if
I would
somebody saw
probably
like
go away for a year.
yeah, I would go away for if somebody like if you caught my meltdown on like if I accidentally left my meltdown on camera, like because here's the thing, I will like recently understanding within like the past few months or so, recently understanding that I am autistic, um, there's stuff that I record to understand and see what it looks like because I didn't realize what it looked like, right? I don't want it getting out. Like, I don't want anybody to
No,
see it.
no,
Period. Like, I'm like, no, I don't want anybody seeing this. I don't want anybody seeing these like full on meltdowns. So, like, YouTubers, all the people that we've mentioned have the ability to edit. And not only do they have the ability to edit it, but when we're talking about someone like Tati and taking a year off, this is not hate speech in any way, shape, or form. This is
no.
not even conjecture. This is me saying you're talking about someone who literally had an entire year to watch how to behave. This is the thing about YouTube. As a creator, even Emily and I are aware of this.
Yeah,
Any creator in right now in the chat, any creator watching this later, we are all aware of how we should and should not apologize. We know how we're supposed to do things. And on
yeah,
top of that, she has had an entire year to see how people respond to her. She has had an entire year of being able to see a drama channel or a Reddit thread or whatever come up with her name in it and watch that response go from mostly negative moving towards positive. It's
yeah,
not really a coincidence that she has shown back up when the meter moved from like, burn the witch to like, where's Tati? I miss her.
And
That's
it's
not a coincidence. And I don't mean
no,
that to be
it's
rude. It's
not.
just, it is not a coincidence that
No,
she was
it's a smart
able.
business move. It's not being rude. You were calling out what is a valid and smart business move because
Yes.
I had that reaction of I watched the first video back and I was like, "Oh, we're done for." The like she's back. I was going to call her a B word, but I'm like whatever. I don't know the person. She's back. Like the way I saw it, because I'm no longer. There was a point in time many years ago where I was a watcher, a fan, that fell off pretty quickly. But anyway, as somebody that has watched and kind of been absorbed in it in different levels, when I saw this video back, I was like, she has learned so much
Thank
and
you.
has just figured out how to come back in a light that it truly feels like we didn't skip a beat from old Tati, but at the same time we're going to forget about what happened. Like there was a mention of we're not going to talk about that, but it also felt like, oh, this is just like old Tati in the room.
Yeah. And
And that
so,
was kind of like it kind of got my brain like a little trippy because I was
okay.
like it's I see what you're doing, but I know a lot of people will fall right back into it.
Correct. And so it's like, when you see that, this is the exact reason I say influencers don't have to apologize.
Yeah.
They don't. Like, we can get as mad as we want to. They don't have to apologize, and it makes no sense for them to do so. There's multiple reasons why, but the number one reason for them to not do so is because they're damned if they apologize and they're damned if they don't apologize. Your
Yeah.
apology is either not going to be good enough for people, and the reality of the situation is, how do we know if they've learned anything? Because with celebrities, they outwardly go on like a fucking tour. They show up on
Yes.
somebody's, show, like talk shows to talk about it. They show up on Good Morning America. They go to their rehabs. They're seen going in and out of the rehab. They have
Yeah.
their life coach with them everywhere. Like there is a visible, even if it's not true. This is
Oh
what,
yeah,
even
it can
if
be
it's not
totally
true,
manufactured,
it is a
but we
visible
see it.
representation of them paying penance.
Yeah.
But YouTubers don't have that because for the most part, the majority of us aren't being followed around by paparazzi, right? Nobody gives a shit. There's not a television show. Like, yes, there's drama channels, but like Emily and I ran into some shit. We had a situation that happened because of the size of our channels. We really only had to answer to our subscribers.
Yeah.
That's it. We only had to answer to our subscribers and the people who were here. We did not have to answer to any fucking body else. We have
No.
like, and that's it,
But we were
right?
right on that cusp of
Yes.
maybe um and the thing I wanted to say is that so Gabby mentioned the only here's the thing is I disagree with this because in my opinion what happened in particular with Tati and another person, the Jebediah Stinkfish of it all, is that by saying we're not going to talk about it, I've taken down my.
Oh snap! They froze.
Oh,
Back.
okay.
I'm not going to
So
talk about it.
so by saying when they come back and they say we're not going to talk about it, they have taken down their apology videos. To me that is like taking back your apology. That is no longer apologizing, and that's a choice, that's
Yeah.
their choice. But I think that that shows like I don't have to apologize. I can it's like saying I'm sorry if I offended you. You're not
Yeah.
apologizing for your action. You're apologizing that you took it the wrong way. And that's very different things. And to me, coming back and your apologies are down and you're not going to talk about it anymore, that is a move of like, we're moving forward. So, as you said, Audra, if somebody Googles this person, they will not see, unless they fall down the drama hole, like drama
Yeah.
channel rabbit hole, you won't be able to really find Tati or Jebediah Stankfish or even other people
Yeah.
their big mess ups because
Yeah.
it's gone.
And the thing is, like in our situation, we were trying to leave the video up to not hide. However, there were things
Exactly.
that were harmful to other people and they commented as such. And so we realized, okay, well, we have to take it down. So on one hand, it's like, are you taking back the apology or are you trying not to harm people? Like, what happens? Because then you also have, where did the situation take place? Like, if some shit went down on Twitter and like, you really shouldn't even be apologizing on YouTube, right? Because if you're apologizing on YouTube, there's a shit ton of people who have a YouTube channel who sure as shit don't have Twitter. They don't have Instagram. They
Yeah.
just watch YouTube. So they have no clue what's happened here. And I know this because I've been watching some drama unfold. And every time drama unfolds, there's always somebody who goes, oh, what happened with this? What do you mean? All of this has been happening on Twitter. They don't have Twitter. That's why they don't know what's happening. They have no idea that all this shit went down. So it's like, if the creator apologizes on Twitter, then like, they shouldn't, and people will be like, oh, they apologize on the platform where they don't have as many people. And I'm like, but hold, that's where the shit actually went down.
Yeah.
So like, if the shit went down on Twitter, they apologize on Twitter. That's actually where they should be apologizing. They shouldn't be bringing it to their YouTube channel. I wouldn't. Like, I'm going to tell you right
Although
now,
I will
I'm not
say,
like,
I have seen people apologize on Twitter because that's where they got called out. But they were doing that kind of behavior across platforms. But
that's
they
true.
chose to only apologize. So, like, it's all about kind of like how it's done. And yeah, like with taking ownership, and but people can still choose not to mess with you. Yeah, exactly. Like, not everyone has every social media platform, and no one needs them all. Don't feel pressured to be like, if you enjoy it, do it, but it's not for everyone. Um,
And
but oh
before we
yeah,
bring Yolanda, I wanted to throw this one thing in here right quick,
yes,
because you were talking about it from Peter Mon. And
yes,
what boggles my mind about this Tati, the David Dobrik's, the Shanes, the Jeffreys, is that these people come back and they like fake apologize or whatever the fuck they do. They tell you whatever story they need to tell you to like keep moving forward, which more power to them. Do whatever the hell you want to.
mm.
Because I'm not the boss of you. But
Sometimes I
where I
wish I
get
could be, but I'm
bothered
not.
is how do we decide who we're going to forgive?
Yeah,
And like, I can definitely say I have personal stakes because I have friends who have been treated poorly, and
yeah,
I look at this and I'm like, objectively, hanging out with people who are accused of SA, who are accused of P filing, um, is significantly worse.
yeah,
Even like, I am like, and I will say this, that is P filing and SA is a lot worse to me than just being racist. Not violently racist, but just saying something racist or saying something that could be construed as
yeah,
racist or overspeak. That to me, as a black person, is fucking worse. I don't speak for all black
yeah.
people. Don't get it twisted. But that to me is worse. If I had to choose and be like, let me see who I'm going to hang out with. Am I going to hang out with somebody who may have said something that was construed as or like taken as being racist? Or am I going to hang out with a P file and an essayist? I'm going to go with the racist side of this because that might be something I can change and work
Even
through.
even if like even as complete strangers, racist essay. I'm gonna go with racist. Not perceived as, not whatever. Racist P file. I'm gonna go to racist. Like that's the thing. It's like I'm not gonna choose. Like that's what I'm saying. And I think this kind of ties into the thing that I started realizing with who we choose is that influencers, the ones that, in my opinion, the ones that get away with it, have mastered a combination of aspiration and relatability.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the creators that I see not getting like any kind of grace, they don't have
Yeah,
both of those things. The
correct.
ones that are big enough, so they're wealthy enough, they're established enough, where you look at them and you're like, I want to be them, I want to be their friend, I want to date them, I just want to live their life. That aspiration paired with they also seem really nice, or they seem like a good person, or
Yeah.
like their victimhood makes them feel more like somebody you can relate to. To me,
Yeah.
those two things hand in hand are what really do it, because a lot of celebrities have just the aspiration. A lot of the actors or musicians, there's just the aspiration. And then there's a lot of smaller creators that just have the relatability, and you don't see those two groups getting like the grace of people being like, I'm still gonna watch them, I'm still gonna support them,
Correct.
because there's not that like cocktail of the two that makes it like this give and take of like, I feel for them and I want to be them, and it makes it easier to like go back to them.
Yeah, and here's what I'm going to say. We don't all have to agree on who the fuck we're going to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
Who can accept the apology? Only the people affected. But who can just continue to forgive? Anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody can forgive. You can't accept the apology if you weren't affected by it, but you can still forgive and move forward. That's just how this shit works. But if you are I'm not even going to fucking fake say his name. If you love Jeffree Star and you want to continue to love Jeffree Star, good on you. But let me just tell you something. You don't get to force everybody else to like him with you. Just
Yes.
like I cannot force you to understand that that man, I think personally, is not a good person in any way, shape, or form, you then cannot tell me, well, he apologized. I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't ever want to watch anything with him. You can't make me. So, this is the thing. Do not, like, we have different moral stances, and that's fine. 2020 and 2021 has taught me a lot, and I'm like, listen, we can have different moral stances. That's fine. I don't, because like one, I probably don't even know you. It's fine. We're not personal friends. But here's the other side of that as well. I literally don't have to believe what you do, and you don't have to believe what I do. In this
Exactly.
regard, we can agree to disagree.
It's probably the only time I
Thank
agree
you.
with that, because there are just people that I am not going to watch again.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to
sometimes it's
think he's a
because
monster.
of
You're
what they
not.
did, and sometimes, and then there are other people, like there are people that I'm friends with who are like, yeah, I didn't like what they did, but I'm forgiving them and I'm watching them again, and I'm like, cool. That's not for me though, and so I don't really want to talk about their content because I'm not watching it, and I kind of don't like, I just don't want to be a part of that. But it's okay, because it's just I can't relate. I can't talk, like maybe I can analyze, but anyway, but I can't relate to it. So I think that's the thing, is that if we can all accept that, like, there are just people that are going to keep watching or going to go back to somebody that they might have broken up with for a while. And there are other people that are just not. They're just not going to vibe with that person anymore. So they're not. And we can all watch what we want to watch, because guess what? That's the beauty of social media. If you don't like something about someone, you don't have to follow them.
Thank you. And like that's what it comes down to, because here's the thing. Like many of y'all know, I'm not going to hide from it. Like Jen is my friend.
Yeah.
Jen Loves is my friend. I'm not changing that. Um because I know them. Like that's the thing. Because
Yeah.
I know her. I know her. So yes, this is my friend. And I'm going to say, when you have to stand by your friend as all of this goes down, not not in a public way, just being there for your friend when so many people are coming for them. Um that is, oh, I'm getting teary eyed. It's very upsetting.
Yeah.
It's very upsetting to see exactly how mean people can be. And
Yeah.
I feel like so many people don't understand. This is why I'm like at a level now. I'm like, they don't know you. Nobody owes you an apology. And this is why. Because so many people actively work to harm someone. It stops being about whatever they did, whatever they said, and becomes like an active hunt for them in every possible level. One of the main reasons I have found that a lot of creators delete their apology videos is because if any mistake happens later, people go to that old apology video and begin attacking it. They bring it back up in the algorithm
Yeah.
and they come there and they just say the most hateful, awful things to a creator. So there's no winning. If you apologize but people didn't see it, like that's the other problem. If you
Yeah.
apologize, like if you had trouble on Twitter, you apologize on Twitter but people didn't see it because they're busy doing the pile-on, that's a problem. Other people are still making videos about you on YouTube. There's literally no way for you to like really capture the problem. That's the issue
Yeah.
with YouTube. So like I'm not going to forgive people. We're about to bring Yolanda on. I'm not
Yeah.
going to forgive the way that some of these people have behaved, but I'm also not going to attack you for continuing to watch. Like you do you, boo boo. Just don't mention them in my comments. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't
And
come in my
I'm
comments talk about them.
and just to say, like, I'm one of those people. I'm more like Feffy, where I'm like I'm one of those people where I'm like, yes, everyone attacking somebody is wrong. Also, that person is wrong, and
Thank you.
that's not just a statement about Jen or Tati or anyone else. That's how I live my life. Where I'm like, I don't like that person anymore. I'm good, but also all of you, you need to get a life. So anyway,
Thank you.
I
Like I
also
don't disagree that somebody is wrong. Here's the thing,
yeah,
I will tell my own friends they're wrong and best believe I do. But let me just tell you that I don't agree with like the nastiness and the vitriol with which people come for them, calling them names, calling them these things, trying
doxing
like
them, like finding
yes,
information out about them.
wishing harm on them. Like I'm like,
Yeah,
y'all, get it together. But now
yeah.
we're gonna bring Yolanda because we're gonna talk specifically about this. Like, by the way, Yolanda's video is in fact linked in the description because we're
And it
gonna talk
is
specifically about
magnificent if you
Tati.
have not seen it.
So good
Um, and
because don't be a white
Tot,
woman on the internet. Talk about your taxes.
otherwise, you are a Republican, thus out for me, for me.
And now it's
uh,
perfect time to be like, bada bam. Hope. Hi.
Welcome, Yolanda. Welcome, welcome. I see what YouTube is doing about pushing every new Tati video. And Sharon mentioned something of like you can tell YouTube, but no, when YouTube wants you to see their video, you can say I'm not interested for 5 years and you will still get
They're gonna make you watch
recommendations
it.
because money.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. That's how I found out. I was like, I'm not paying attention to Tati. I'm not paying
That's
attention to
how
Tati.
I found out too.
That's
She's
how
like,
I found out. And
listen,
I
do
was
you
like,
know how
what? Why?
I don't even get drama channels suggested to me anymore because I honestly started being like not interested. Nobody gets through. The only one who gets through, like two people get through. Sharita gets through because I'm subscribed and Hannah gets through. And like, I try not to watch anything. I really try not to talk about it because, or watch it because I feel like when I'm watching it, I'm contributing to harming people and like, oh, like I I hate like I'm a vindictive, like bitter, angry ass bitch, but there's something about me that I can't contribute to the harm of another person unless, you
I
really
also
deserve
think
it.
you know just how far you can go, so you
Yeah,
rein it in.
that's true.
Do
Cause
you
But
I
like,
understand how much
really thank
editing?
you.
When you guys were talking about editing, do you know how much came out of that video? I think it's still salty as all get out, but do you know how much came
it's
out
so
of that
good.
video? Thank you, thank you.
Um,
Like and
yeah,
the thing about it is I was bothered. And I was like, you know what? You don't want to be that channel, Yolanda. Like you have plans for your channel. You don't want to be a T channel. But I had to watch video after video after video. Welcome back, and I'm like, no. No. Why are you in my feed? Why are my creators talking about you? Like, why? And I think that's the thing that bothers me the most is like these larger beauty YouTubers. I have made it my business not to watch any of them. Any of them. I get recommended them because my creators watch them. I'm just like,
like
y'all are ruining my internet.
Jackie is the
Well,
only one. When I looked at actually we were talking. Audrey and I were talking about this. Like they are the only really big person that I still follow, but they still get recommended. Like other people still get recommended, but with and like I wanted to say like I still watch Peter Mon because that's like the only one though. Like he's the only one that I watch. But even before like even without that, she was in my feed, the very first photo, like the very first video. And I was like, I haven't watched a video about this person in like a year. Why are you recommending me?
Because it's Tati, right? And
Yeah.
I think
No, YouTube has a vested interest in getting people back into the beauty community.
yes,
I have some theories about
I
why.
agree because I think that that's why people are holding on so tight. Because here's the thing. I like, and Emily commented, and then I commented on your video. I commented underneath Emily's, and I said,
Yeah.
people are acting like, because people are like, I miss Tati's reviews. What really pissed me off about this
There's
is
so
people are
many good
acting like there
reviews.
weren't people. Tina of the Fancy Face does a very in depth review down to the price, the packaging, what the fuck is in it. Like Alicia, Kinky Sweat, Kelsey
Yes.
Brianna J, amazing reviews in like if you those are three
And
people right
luxury
there.
stuff. Like if you're a
Yes,
high-end
luxury
person,
makeup.
like luxury makeup,
But like, okay,
whatever.
like even if you're a drugstore, like cutie, like there's Emily Noel. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't watch her, but like,
There's a
you
lot
know,
There's
of
I
Hannah
just
smaller,
there's
there's a lot
so
of
many
like
people who can give you
mid-size
good
that
detailed
do.
because my
Yeah.
reviews are like it's really shining.
Everyone that's like, how does it wear on you? I'm like, don't ask me that question because I don't pay attention.
yeah, my
Like,
reviews are it works. I'm so excited.
I'm like, look at the glow. Look.
Because
Like,
listen, if it's not like honestly, if it's not my base, I can't really tell you. I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
I had this eyeshadow on for like 4 hours before I got tired and I took it off. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
or I was trying to keep an eye on it and then I forgot and I washed my
I
face
did
and I
forget.
didn't take a photo. But like that was the part of your video that I really connected with because I was like and speaking of the Peter Mon video, like that he referenced this of also like why is it that no one else can rise up into these spaces when
Because subscribers won't let them.
the Jeffreys, the Tatis, the David Dobrik's, the all of them, they come back and like and YouTube and subscribers won't let them. And I'm just like, we actually thought, I think last July-ish, when everything else had that's true. Actually, all the creators, the three that we mentioned were black and brown. Yeah, Tati's reviews don't touch Tina's, but like last like June, July, when everything fell apart, I think there was a little bit of hope of like, oh, this will
There
be when
was.
people can like ride. We can see the Alicias and the Tinas and the Laura May Beauties and the people that are at like the 100,000 point. Like we can see them like rise, and then no.
Listen,
The
you
machine.
know that's why I got
I'm
depressed.
I'm gonna do my machine thing. The machine needs for YouTube to be bland, needs it to be
Yes,
white,
Benny.
needs it to be boring. The machine needs that because if you have educated consumers, we're gonna take a hard look at what we are buying, and no one wants that. You're just supposed to instantly consume. You're supposed
Yeah, because
to
like
instantly consume.
Emily knows.
So that's
I've been
why.
sitting in random. I have literally been sitting in random depression, just being like, maybe I should just go ahead, because I took a particular job that wasn't going to be particularly stressful because I was like, I still want to be able to do YouTube, and I don't want the job to be so stressful that I don't do it. And then I don't know. I've just been getting in my feelings. It's probably like the Mercury in retrograde and the damn strawberry moon and all the shit came together. And I was like, maybe I should just quit doing YouTube. Really, like
No, you shouldn't. No, you
I've
shouldn't.
been having to talk Audra down from
No, you
that.
shouldn't, Audra.
From that,
Like,
not anything
honestly.
worse. I'm gonna say, no.
because it's frustrating because when you see like her last video currently has like 124K views, y'all.
Oh no,
She
it has
uploaded
like
today
500,000. I
because
think.
it
Hold on.
because it got in my
No,
recommended. She uploaded
yeah, it was the video
today.
she uploaded today.
Let me see the one
Today.
that she did today because I think it like blew up. I think it has 500,000 already. I think people are watching those videos, and it irritates me to no end that like we're just like we're wiping the slate clean. We're pretending. All that stuff came out in the lawsuit. All that stuff came out. She sponsored.
Oh, we
sponsored.
we
Like-
fell into the lap of the Republican Emily D. Baker, got all this information, and then went wipe it clean. We're back.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
this is what kills me is I'm like, y'all really forgot. Because here's the thing. I there's many things that I can forgive Tati for, right? Many. I can even look at it and be like, you know what? I understand not having YouTube friends, not being on everybody's like lips or whatever. I get that. Here's where I won't like, and I will never come out ever and say anything really nasty about a fellow female creator. Point blank and period. We have it hard enough on this like in the world, but on this platform we have it hard enough. But the one thing I can never truly get over and forgive is that she did not stand not only with a fellow female creator but with a black female creator. That is something I won't be able to ever overlook. That will always be something that will be hard. Like Tati herself could come down on high with her white horses because they would be white, and
Silky and white.
Paris,
I
and
don't know.
she could like grace me with her lighting and be like, "What can I do?"
Yes, Tati
Audra,
has undisclosed sponsors. She
allegedly.
Oh,
it
oh
went
well.
no, it went into her YouTube income went into those. Listen, I was listening to that Republican lady talk about the lawsuit.
It's fine. We all
It
fell into
went
it.
it went into the public record that she had brand deals for years and it was part of her income as part of those lawsuits. She was being sponsored, did not disclose, and her whole brand was, this is Tati approved, and you know I'm true because I buy all of this stuff, or like I get it, but like no one has bought me.
Yeah.
Lies. She had YouTube income that was not AdSense. She was making money from these brands.
You're not the only one, Kelly. I know. I
Yeah.
know, because like
That's the thing is like I also feel like the last and not just the last year, but like there's so many other ways to talk about makeup besides just this is a review that I'm really like so not even fascinated. I'm just like why is the review the almighty thing? It's to me people that are like I'm waiting for makeup reviews are the same people that were like I'm waiting for makeup tutorials. Like
ah,
go away, please.
and then you do
We
them
all
and
learned
like
how to do our
five
makeup.
people come and
We
watch
all
it. You're
learned how
like,
to do our makeup.
I'm like
And my thing is
okay.
this, like we've got TikTok, we've got Instagram, where like it's easier to digest the tutorial slash review
Mm-hmm.
model of doing makeup. Who is Tati's audience? Tati's 40 or 38, 39, whatever she is. She's an
Yeah.
old ass millennial, let's put it that way.
first of all,
Who
I am 41. There is no need for that kind of slander. Okay.
Listen, I'm 40.
41 Earth
I'm
years.
45 years old. I'll be 46 this summer. Listen.
41 Earth years. We're not going to talk about how old I am on my home planet. Okay.
722. That's me.
Listen,
Okay,
That's me.
no, it's older.
this is like Morphe encapsulated. Like I'm not saying specifically about Tati, but it's like everyone was just like, I'm not sponsored. And then everyone has an affiliate code. And I'm like, look, even if you are not actually sponsored for every video, I don't trust it.
Yeah, I mean, let's be
Yeah.
real. Like, many people are talking about cancel culture, and like
It's not a
even
thing.
even don't even call it accountability culture because if you are you, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if I had even 300,000 subscribers today and I said something way fucked off, I can guarantee you that all I would have to do is just like get off my channel for a month, 2 months, and then show back up and be like, I've learned so much from my time away.
Okay, but can
Let's
I?
not move forward. Let's not talk about it. Let's not dwell on that time that I use the F word when referring to gays. I'm a gay. I'm a gay too. I'm queer. Let's not. I was using it in a familial sense, just like I use the N word. Like, come on. Anyways,
I've been queer since
let's not talk about it.
1990. What are you
Thank
talking
you.
about? Like,
I've been queer since middle school when I went to Madison. So, like, listen, let's just move forward. Anyway, I have new makeup. I have shiny things. Look
but
at my
what I
shiny
was gonna
pretties. Like,
say is like, but I also feel like that only works for white women
it
and white
does.
men.
Of
Because
course it
like
Because I
does.
cannot
Of
fuck up.
course it does.
I am
Jackie Aina got
acutely
canceled
aware.
for telling the
that's what
damn
I'm
ass
saying.
truth.
Like
She sent one
anything that
tweet.
oh the like they don't move out of my way and I'm like
They don't say
you're
excuse
white.
me.
They don't say
I'm
excuse
like,
me.
Listen, sometimes I carry my camera. I go for like very long walks at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I carry my camera, and I have footage. I have footage of how people do not say excuse me, do not get out
They
of the
don't.
way. They just don't. I know the rules of the road. I'm a runner. I've been a cyclist. I've been out in these streets. I know exactly what the rules of the road. You stay to the right. I'm going on a trip. I can't wait to get to a place, London, like everywhere else. I cannot wait where they actually know that you're supposed to be on the right and moving with the
Listen,
flow of traffic. Like that's
Yolanda,
what you're supposed to be doing.
the only reason that I actually move out of the way is because I know I will check a motherfucker. Like I will
I
check.
do
Oh,
it.
but
I
the
do
problem
it.
is
You
I
can
don't even
catch
do it
these broad
lightly
ass
though. The
shoulders.
last time I did it, I like went in
You're
hard. I was
like,
like, bam! Like because
See,
I like
I got a little bit
hockey.
more heft than you do, but like, and
Like
I used to play rugby. You
you
will
have.
catch the shoulder. You will.
First of all, I
I'm
have
not the
broad
white lady on her
shoulders. I am
ass.
stronger than you think I am. I know that I look
you
spindly.
carry an
Okay,
85 to 100-pound dog around on a
thank
regular
you.
basis.
Thank you. There's muscle here. I go in too hard with my checks. And so that's the only reason I move because I'm aware they'll be like, this black bitch just shoulder check. And I'm not in the mood for it.
I do it. I do it.
I'd be
That's
like,
the
yes, I did
most
shoulder
passive
check you
aggressive
because
thing that I
you
do.
saw me coming.
I do it. I do it. I stop in the middle of the sidewalk and I will let a white woman run into me. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I can't even. I can't. Thank you, Rami. You stay to the right. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I never have understood people that are just like, they're just, and I'm like, you are you are a bitch. Like you are an inconsiderate or just like actively racist and rude.
No, I
Because
took
that
my
also
Yeah. So it's like,
I took
like
my
that's the
child to
thing like
South
that
Carolina.
you
Oh,
brought up. Tati only made it. All of these people, notice in the thumbnail, they're all white. They're only able to come back because they're white.
yeah.
If they were black creators, people of color, if they were dark skinned, if they were Afro Latinas, Afro Latinos, if they were Dominicans that were if they were dark skinned anything, it would be a no from me, dog. We're not forgiven. We're not forgiven. We're not going to forgive them. We're not going to forget. Petty Page, to a degree, has never fully recovered from all the shit that went down.
Yeah.
But that's when, like, you know who you're going into business with. Tati's acting like she didn't know who she was going into business
okay,
with.
that's
You
the
know,
other.
they parachuted her
Now,
into.
hold
They
on now.
they threw her out of a
She
plane onto Scandal Island. Come on now.
she did
No,
the
wait, hold
exact.
on.
Wait, what?
Y'all just we can't get real. Listen, I need to put more wine
No,
in.
no, no. What I
Continue,
wanted to say, I'm
continue.
not going to get too, but she did the exact same thing Jeffrey did. She
She did.
learned from him.
She
He
learned from
came
the best.
back and deleted old videos, said, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to move forward. So you tell me she didn't get friendly with this person because she was just lonesome and wanted YouTube friends. No, she wanted to learn and she did. And that is why when I saw her
Listen.
video, I was like, I mean, I'm still going to do my thing, but I was like, we're fucked.
Okay, so for me, and this was the whole pattern. Like when I did I was like, wait, I've seen this play before. So I love my MBTI, like I personality types to find out where people are. SF people like mess me up every time. She's an FSJ something. I don't know if it's I or E. I'm not entirely sure she's an extrovert. I think she might be like an ISFJ.
Mhm.
And like she's looking to see what other people do. So Laura Lee, she messed up. She made her apology. She got a whole new bag, but don't tell me that like we're watching Laura Lee because she has that niece of hers. Like, she adopted that niece and saved a child. So Save the Children is why we are empathizing with Laura Lee. And by we I mean some of y'all out there. I'm not doing it. Like, so
Well, yeah.
didn't do any critical race theory. Didn't like apologize for any of the nonsense that she did to the black community, to the Latin community.
Yeah, I believe Latina is better than Latinx because a lot of them are
Yes.
like, what?
Yeah.
Yes. To the Latin community. You can learn. Like I had to learn this, right?
Yeah.
To the Latin community. She didn't have to do any of that nonsense. She didn't have to do any of the work. She adopted her niece and uses that at every opportunity to sell something, whatever, whatever. So you got Laura
Yeah.
Lee, you've got Jacqueline. The internet came for her, and people like
Yes.
I will never call anybody out their name for their looks. That's absolutely ridiculous. I
Absolutely not.
hated it when it
Point
happened to
blank and
me.
period.
No.
Yeah, right. Like I'm not doing it. Like I was bullied as a kid. I know what that is. It hurts.
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna call you like any
Sigh, thank you.
whatever. It's always going to be based on your behavior. It has nothing to do with the way that you look. Tati's a beautiful woman. So like with Jacqueline Hill's a beautiful woman,
She
regardless of her
is.
Yeah.
size. They
Yeah.
came for her. They used her looks as a way to come for her, which was, and I'm a debate team nerd. You just don't do that. So like calling people names is the lowest form of debate. You don't do that. But
Yeah.
she's using that over and over and over again to sell product. Tati,
Yes.
they put me on the adult sites. They harassed me, and I believe every word of. I believe she was harassed. I believe she
Yes.
was bullied.
Yeah.
I believe
Because
that
I've
death
seen
threats
the
came.
internet. I see how it
Yeah,
works.
exactly. How
I've
dirty
seen
and
Reddit.
nasty it
I
gets.
went
So I
down a
believe her
dark
when it comes to
rabbit
that.
hole, and
But
that
we're
is
gonna
nightmare.
use that. We're gonna use that to
Yeah.
sell
And
more
just
product and come
quick
back
side
and
note,
not do it.
if you're on Reddit, I'm glad. Good for you that you have a place to be like extremely hateful and talk all your shit. I'm so happy. Like I'm dead ass. I'm not fucking kidding. Get on Reddit, be mean as
And
fuck,
stay
do
over
your thing.
there. Be mean
Howsoever,
over there.
here's the one thing I'd ask that you just maybe stop doing. Stop addressing the creator that you're talking shit about. That's just weird. And you should seek therapy for that. If you're saying some really like fucked up shit to somebody and you're like, ha ha ha, hope you're watching, Jackie, you seek therapy. I'm so serious. Seek therapy. Like you can be mean, you can be hateful, and you can be a spiteful, you can be nasty, but please stop like addressing them because that says something about you that you should work
Again,
on.
that's the parasocial. That's all the parasocial toxic like
Mm-hmm.
relationship stuff in my opinion. But like yeah, like the fact that Tati used her video to talk about and then to end it with like but don't do tarot about me. Don't bring that into my life.
Listen,
And I
listen.
was like
That was wink. That was wink. Do the tarots. Come for her. Do the reads because that gives her more attention. It always does. Like
because everyone's talking about it because they're like, why did she specifically call that out? It's like I even fell for it. I'm talking about it right
I was
now.
wondering too. I was like, who's doing her readings? Because first of all, if somebody could do a reading of me and tell me
But
that I'm
Audra,
gonna be
no,
successful in the next 6 months, because bitch,
there's there's tarot readers on YouTube. They're like tarot drama channels, basically.
oh
Mm-hmm.
Those
Yes,
exist.
they do. Like I like when we got into the lawsuits. Listen, I go down rabbit holes when I'm interested in something. Like I will. I've
Yeah,
seen someone do. I've seen someone do the tower readings. It's also a
yeah.
wink to Without a Crystal Ball because I'm pretty sure they're
yep.
teamed up now. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure part of the settlement is that they will like feed each other's type
Like
of thing.
Voltron.
Yes.
well, it's just like what somebody earlier was saying. Like they feel like that they partnered up with like James and Jeffrey to like get a younger audience. Like I just think that in general, she has portrayed this like I'm not an insider. I'm not manipulating you. And that's, in my opinion, all a lie.
Yeah.
Allegedly, all a lie. Like she has portrayed this, and it's just like that TikTok uh, trend that you included in your video, Yolanda. The like the white women crying and then dropping their face at the drop
Yeah.
of the beat, and you're
And
like,
that's
it's all
weird
an
too.
act. It's fucking
That is so
weird.
weird. It's
That
weird. The
is
first
a
creator
very
to do
frightening
it, we
trend.
get your point. It's
Yeah,
I watched it. It was
And they don't get
scary.
that it's upsetting. They're like, it's just a
Yeah,
trend. I'm like, no,
but
no,
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 it's
it's
no,
not.
I'm
upsetting
like,
because
you're
that's how it
revealing
is.
yourself. Yeah,
That's how it is. Like I've been like, my mom talked to me today. She's like, so like we're
Oh,
going on a trip. Like how's it gonna
Chelsea.
be? Whatever, whatever. I was like, I don't know because like
It's
I
the
have
same way
one and
she
a half.
knew that there were people watching her body language. I
yeah.
like I cannot stress you like all three of us here are creators. I cannot stress to y'all enough how much every single one of us. Hell, if you even go back to the Smoky Glow Angelica Owl situation, Hannah even said themselves out loud, like I was afraid of getting canceled, right? So they moved very quickly because if you don't move fast enough on like quote unquote drama for everybody, people just think that you're hiding or that you don't care, and they don't stop. And this is where I will always like, I did not understand it until I became like a creator. Like until I was actually doing it, I didn't understand. Like I was creating for a while, but like not in any serious capacity to where people were watching enough. So I was like, whatever. But there is a literal amount of like, people expect you to respond now. And here's the thing. Thing happens, like let's say the thing happens at 1 p.m. Central Time for me. If that thing happens and I am at my job because I'm a broke ass bitch and I don't just do YouTube full time, I can't respond for like 4.5 hours, maybe 5, because I'm like, I get off work, I have to drive home, like all of it, maybe 6, because then I have to let Bo out, do all of this shit. The whole time people are adding me, they're attacking, it's tweeting and retweeting. People are going, do you think that? What? I am in a literal cesspool, have zero way of getting out, and I am just in panic mode. You all, like, if you don't really pay attention to the cancel machine that like once it starts, it does not back down. And so this is what prompts so many creators to immediately be like, I see what you're saying. I I see it and I'm researching and I'm looking and I understand and I care. I see it, I understand, I care. I'm looking, I'm listening, I'm learning.
But honestly, would it really? My take on it is that people are watching videos about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Tati is watching, or at least seeing tarot readings go up about her,
Mm-hmm.
seeing people talk about body language. Like, I know it sounds like, oh, you're such a small channel. What? There is definitely a possibility that she could see this. I remember Emily D. Baker saw the video, the live stream that we did about her. And yes, she was still small then,
Yeah.
but people are looking. They are looking, and whether or not they're watching, they might be skimming, they might have an assistant, they might just be taking notes to see the tone of the
Listen,
title.
I left her a blueprint. If Because this is what's going to happen. She's going to make a few videos and it's going to get boring again. So she's going to drop, like, because people aren't watching that kind of content anymore.
And
Doesn't
people
matter
aren't
what
watching
channel.
beauty content, and if it's normal ass beauty content,
Exactly. So
if
people
people
aren't
haven't been
watching
paying
that
attention,
content.
people aren't watching
So,
it.
like,
Yeah.
honestly, if Tati had come back and, like, as I said before, if she come back and was like the mean girl that we think she is, like, I would have probably watched just to see some mess because, like, I'm not above it. I'm not above the
Yeah.
mess. Okay.
Yeah.
If she had come back and been like down and out, if she had been like, I'm getting a divorce and kept that on her channel, like, I would have tuned in. I would have tuned in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, like,
Like, like, listen, I'm a writer. Okay, I know dramatic tension. I can see it from a mile away. Like,
Just
I can
be
do
the
this.
soap opera that you are.
thank you.
Be
Exactly.
the
Be
soap opera that
messy.
you
Stay
are.
on that island.
Because
Okay? Tell us what
Emily,
the
when our
amenities
situation
are.
happened, did we not go into full fledged, hardcore, we don't want to get canceled, panic mode, immediately trying to address the situation? You literally cannot breathe until you've like handled it, because
I mean,
it
I
feels,
I
and
will
we're,
say I will say this is like an amateur versus a pro. We were
yes,
an amateur. These people that we're talking about are professionals.
but
So
even at our
like,
amateur level, we've been able to observe how
oh
fast we
yeah.
need to respond. We
Yes.
we realize like, oh, we can't wait until tomorrow. We have to respond immediately tonight. Like the
Cuz
lie
when
just
we
happened. We have
did,
an hour.
even when we did, we put up a thing, but the move that we made was not ideal. And the
Mhm.
next morning there was more shit there. And so it's like, I think that people underestimate, like, even if they're not creator, even if they don't seem to be watching YouTube, they're watching. They
Thank
are
you.
observing. There's no way they could get to that point, in my opinion. There's not a way
Yeah.
to get to that status level without watching, because
And
they've
don't get
been
it
through it
twisted.
in the
They're
past.
watching the smaller channels. There's a
They're watching
reason for it.
everyone.
they're watching everyone, but here's the thing. If you want to know how people really feel, you're not going to go to the large drama channels because
You're not even
that's
going to
just,
go to the mid-sized channels
yeah,
either because, like,
because
No,
those
honestly,
people, like, there's,
because
and
they
I
take
don't
they're
mean
from
to be
still
smaller
shitty.
channels
they're
anyway.
still sucking up. Like, oh,
That's
let me
true
Yes,
see
too.
what's on
but you
TV.
come down here and you're like, what's everybody saying down here? And then you learn exactly what the fuck you need to do from the poor people.
You go on TikTok and look at the people talking over there. You go on Twitter, like, because as I was thinking, like, because a lot of these drama channels are already getting content from smaller creators. And,
Yeah,
like, again, I know I've referenced this person before, but I know, like, Peter Mon will call out one smaller creator in particular that he when he gets something from. Now, I'm not saying he's doing that with everyone. I'm not saying that there's not a lot of content stealing, but, like, it does make sense to
Listen,
go.
even amongst the blacks on YouTube, and I've seen this. I've seen this, like, the like the medium sized, smaller creators go to Twitter to do their homework. Like, they are like, what are the girlies talking about? And this is probably like, I'm working on a thesis, but the reason why beauty channel views are down in general is that, like, black women can't make it on YouTube. They know they can't make it on YouTube. They're leaving.
period.
And black women power the internet.
We
It's
Right.
just the
And
way
if
it
we,
I
we
hit
is.
see that
10K
with
this year, I
TikTok.
will.
We
If
see
I
that
hit
with the TikTok
10K
dance
this
thing.
year, which I don't like, we're already halfway through the. If I hit 10K this year, listen, all right, like if I hit 10K, I will put on some fucking false lashes and drink a damn bottle of champagne, live stream, and I'll wear like until I'm done with the champagne, I
Can I
will keep
come?
on the
Can I
lashes
invite it?
because that shit ain't happening. I will be at 9-7 into 2024, bitches. Like that is where
But
we
that's what I'm
are.
saying is we're seeing that with TikTok. Black creators were like, we're not going to make dances.
And they have the
And
hands
there's
and
no
the hands.
dances. There's no new dances on TikTok. So
And
it's
they
the
No,
do it
because
same
in
thing
y'all be
content.
happening on
stealing.
YouTube.
Y'all be
Yeah.
stealing. So, like, honestly, and, like, I realize that I'm enough of a nerd that I can make enough references to things that these little children can't see. Like, like, I'll be my own little unique entity on the internet because I'm old and I'm really smart. I know this, so I can do that. You can't play off stealing my content for too long without getting
Thank you.
caught. Like, you really
That's
can't.
true. Like,
You
being
can't.
weird, being the weird person that you actually are has power on
I
the
caught
Exactly.
somebody.
internet.
I caught somebody like way early in my. I
Oh,
caught somebody steal my fucking content, and I was weird because I was a subscriber of them. And what fucked me up about it is I was like, because like the first time I saw them drinking, I was like, they didn't used to drink. And then like because I had Bo, I used to just like let Bo sit there, and then like all of a sudden their animal was in the background. I was like,
like,
I was like,
something's
I
not
don't.
adding up.
Well,
The
the thing
math
about
ain't
it is, and
mathing
this
because
is, I
I
just
know.
discovered this. I just discovered this because I try not to pay attention to YouTube Studio. Like, I want to do the thing that I do without, like, worrying about what's happening on the other end. So, but, like, with the Tati video, like, thank you. By the way, thank you everyone for watching it, and thank you for the engagement. That's what I live for. I live for the
It's so
comments.
fucking good.
Thank you. Like, literally, I woke up that morning and I was like, "You better make this video." Like, well, I talked to a couple of friends. They were like, "Yolanda, just make the video. Like, you're
Just
not
do
gonna
the
let this
damn
go. Just do
video.
the thing. You don't need notes. You don't need references. Just do it." And I really did wake up in the morning. I was still in my little kimono. Like, I was
I
just
loved
like,
it. I loved the whole
I thought it was
energy of it.
amazing.
yeah, I was like,
By the way,
okay, we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
do this.
grab
Put
some
a
more
sugar
wine.
coffee.
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
I just wanted to
but
No,
say.
like,
Yolanda, I thought it was amazing. Some of my best shit is just like so I've been having a fight right now between autism and ADHD. Every time I try to rest, my ADHD is like, do this because here's the thing. So autism is neat and orderly, It's got lists of shit, right?
and
Which
I
is
don't
great.
have ADHD. I'm autistic, but I don't have
Oh,
ADHD. So,
oh,
like, it's
oh,
one
the
of those
battle
things
is
where,
just
like, I'm color coded here. I've got my list. I've got the
it's
things that I need to do. Like, like, but, like, I couldn't even imagine what that struggle is like,
yes.
not being able to, like,
Yes, we are, Megan.
focus.
it is so difficult because like every time I want to rest, it's why like the biggest reason I had to get noise canceling headphones is because of my ADHD. My ADHD, like I talk all day, Yolanda. I cannot stop it. And my own voice bouncing around in my own fucking skull all day started like it's been like that my entire life where I'm just like this is making me feel nuts. I cannot handle this. I like and I can't stop myself from talking. So I'm just sitting and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna lay down. And then I try to lay down and I'm like, and another thing. And I'm like, no. So I got the noise canceling. So I could just talk and talk and talk, which my ADHD requires all of this stimulation and all this movement. And the autism is like, um, okay, but we need to be quiet. We need some orderly shit happening while you talk. So I'm literally writing notes that don't coincide with what I'm saying. Like I'm talking out loud
Wow.
about the Tati situation while writing notes for like my next video. I'm like, and then we're gonna talk about this. It's fucking I can't.
Oh,
But yeah, the whole
I
Tati
am so
situation
sorry.
and forgiving, like I don't what do y'all feel? Do you feel like you're gonna like I only forgive people I know. That's where I am now. If I know you, I'll forgive you. But if I don't know you, EAD. EABD.
I can't. I can't. Like if
Yeah.
like number one, Tassi's really boring. Like she's just boring.
Boring.
She's boring. Okay, can we talk about how these large creators is like really boring? I need
Don't tell me
you.
when I use
I need
Tati
my
for sleep,
brain.
like my naps. I used to like use Tati for naps at work.
I couldn't
You
make it.
say don't tell anyone as you're saying it on a live stream, Audra.
Yeah, like I couldn't
First
make
of
it
all,
through
I'm
her
drinking
second
my introvert
video.
wine, which is making me extroverted, and it really is introvert wine. I'm not kidding. It's
I feel like maybe it's because it's the only big creator I watch. I feel like Jackie is the only bigger one that is doing, in my opinion, interesting videos. Like like asking the
yes.
audience shit and all of that. Like I don't know. But
I
like
like
Tati is boring. So
boring.
boring. And
Boring.
that
Like I just like literally could not make it through. See, okay, so like I don't have ADHD, but I do get bored. And when I get bored, I completely like I have a world inside my head. It's so interesting in there. I have fun in there. Like I don't need the outside world. I have a hard time. I have a hard time. Like my daughter will be talking to me, and literally like 45 minutes later, I get it. I get it. 45 minutes later, I'll answer her question. She said, "Is that lavender on the street?" And literally 45 minutes later, I was like, "Yeah, that was lavender." Like that is where like I'm not here half the time. I'm on another plane of existence. So like my inner world is really precious to me.
Mine is too, but like here's the
yeah.
thing. Other people don't know that like so my disassociation, for anybody who hasn't known, is that I am on a reality show. Okay. And I am the star of it. So here's the thing. I don't know when that switches and flippity flops. So if you're ever wondering if I was like, this is why I have problems. Like, this is why I like
That
Marco
right there,
Polo,
Megan.
right? Because like I can take a moment
Bullet
to
journal.
go back and be like, wait, this isn't the Audra show.
This is my bullet
This isn't
journal.
Audra German last name experience. This is me talking to my friend, and I need to go back and listen. So I go back and listen, like, oh, okay. And then I respond to that because otherwise I am living like, do y'all know who I am dating in?
It's like, all you had to say, Audra,
Oh
was do you know who I am? Just do
listen,
you know who I am?
listen. Keanu Reeves and Gina Torres and myself, we have a townhouse in my world where we do all types of things that I can't say on the internet, and y'all are not privy to that. Okay, that is my like when I say I have a rich inner world, I'm telling you, it is
Yes, I
populated
had
by some
Yeah.
fabulous people.
Yolanda, when I was in my 20s, there was this long standing period where like me and Eric Lindros of the Philadelphia Flyers, he no longer plays,
No, I.
had like we
Yeah.
had there was a relationship that was happening. People were taking photos. And listen, sometimes if you caught me on the right day walking on the streets of LA, I was turning to take that photo. No one knew I was like turning to be like,
Thank you, Feffy.
Okay,
Thank
but
you.
like,
I
I
love
just like how
superior
everyone
names.
is like, "Why are you me? Why?" By the way, I don't even know how we got to this point. I got up and got wine and came back to talking about Rich in Her
came
Lives, which
back
I
to
have no problem with.
disassociated because
We're
obviously Tati has disassociated from fucking reality to think that my ass is gonna fucking forgive her. I'm done now. I'm done screaming.
yeah, no, there's no forgiveness like
No,
for
no. Number one,
even
she
for
didn't
some
ask
people
for
I
it.
know.
Like, and I'm wondering, okay, so like, and I do know people like this in my life, and this is an SF thing, you know, like I'm pegging her more and more as an ISFJ. Like, it is a thing where you rewrite the rules of reality. I don't know if she actually knows that she's lying or not. I don't
No,
know.
Okay, we talk about this a lot, Audra and I. Truth is so malleable. So her
it really is.
truth, like she can honestly, not manipulatively, not deceptively,
I know. So like
honestly
it's like one of
believe her
those things.
truth.
I have a
Yeah.
person like this in my family, and I have learned to accept that like they have really rewritten reality. They're not really technically lying because they don't know that they're deceiving you. They would probably pass a lie
A lie
detector
detection
test.
test. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, so like I've learned to
that's
accept.
actually that's
I've
one of
learned
the
to accept
reasons why
that.
lie detector tests aren't admissible in court
I know.
Yeah. It's
So like
easy
she
to
because
do
she
you
it.
could be
really
lying, but like
I'm like she
you don't know you're
really
lying.
believes that she didn't do a damn thing wrong. And I think that's more dangerous. Speaking of January 6th, that's more dangerous than like actually like lying to us. I think like I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for Jaclyn Hill. Like, you know, like I feel like she's the PT Barnum
Then you're
of
gonna like my video
YouTube.
on Saturday if I get it
Yeah,
edited in
yeah,
time. You're
like
gonna like that
yeah.
shit.
So like you know, she does it with a wink. We know she's lying. She knows she's lying. She's gonna do it anyway, and it's entertaining. That's the way I feel about it. Tati, I'm not quite sure she quite understands that she is telling a whole ass lie. I think she believes that she's the victim in all of this, and I think that's more dangerous than anything else like that. The first sentence for January 6th, this woman got she got community service. Get not even a lot of community service. Okay, she didn't get 700 hours of community service. Get out of here with that bull. Get out. Stop it.
I mean, like, here's the thing. I will counter that and say I think that all of these people know that they've done something wrong. Because everybody keeps saying, like, because to say that they genuinely don't believe they've done something wrong paints them as like innocent cherubs who like are confused about life.
Yeah.
They know they've done something wrong. Shane knows he's done wrong. His ugly, like, oh, excuse me, rephrase, his ridiculous, boring ass boyfriend, fiance. No, because ugly is
I
subjective.
know,
Let
no,
me
I know,
just,
I know. I'm just laughing
and
because
I don't find most men attractive. Let's just move on.
yeah, same.
So his boyfriend, like, they all know that they've done something wrong, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
because, like, Shane wouldn't have been on that damn vlog joking about things if he didn't know he'd done something wrong. What they believe, though, is that it doesn't matter. And YouTube,
Yeah.
time and time again,
I need it
has
to
told all
matter.
of
How do
us
I like
that it doesn't
honestly?
matter.
I like,
As
and
long
this
as you
is
bring
my
in the
thing.
bucks, the
It
big bucks, you're
matters.
fine.
It matters because it reframes themselves as a redemption arc. It
Mm-hmm.
reframes themselves as a star of
Listen,
their own
like number one,
redemption.
I need everybody to stop thinking they're the protagonist. You know what my dreams are
No,
like?
no, no, they're not.
Like,
They're the villain, by the
Yeah, but
way.
like, here's
yeah,
the thing. Tati had to do her own thing because the Redeemer is also the villain. Shane was the one who was always coming up with everybody's like quote
True.
unquote redemption arc stories. By the way, please don't let that snake of a person that like I don't let them do a
Trying.
Britney
The snake
documentary
is coming out
because
of her
their
ass. It's
like
documentaries
trying.
aren't documentaries. Let's just start there. That's not a
like
documentary. It's a
listen,
terrible
like
story.
okay, so like, and it's so funny how your perception of a YouTube creator is where you find them, right? Like
Hmm.
I haven't, my history with YouTube isn't that long. Like I started watching YouTube in 2017. Okay, and I can tell you why. Because I had locks all the way down to my booty. Okay, and I cut them off, and I was trying to figure out how I could like unravel them without shaving my head. I should have shaved my head, but that's neither here nor there. So that's how
Yeah.
I started watching YouTube in mass, because I had this like 3-week project of unraveling my locks, right? So I found Shane Dawson when he was doing conspiracy theories. He almost convinced me that. Well, no, he didn't really, but like, because I be thinking he almost convinced me the Earth was flat. He is charming. He has,
Ew,
you know,
really?
when he was doing
You and me were like, oh.
I'm sorry, I saw
Like,
that era.
listen,
And
We're like,
I,
no,
so
wait,
like
hold on.
that's where
I'm
I
making a
found
move
him when
here.
he was doing conspiracy theory stuff. So that's exactly where I found him. I thought he was okay, and then like all the racist stuff came up, the drama channels and everything else like that. I was like, okay, we're done.
I never
I
understood the swoop bangs and
listen,
none of it. All of it was bad for me.
I
All of it
have
was
to keep an
bad.
eye on. There are a few things that I have to keep an eye on: conspiracy theories and cults, because I'm the type of person that would get swept up into that nonsense. I'm super smart, but that's the person.
oh, we're not
that
judging
gets
you for
that
watching
gets
his
him.
videos. We're judging you for
No,
thinking he's charming. That
thank
just to
you.
make that clear.
That's
He's
Just
funny.
to make that
Okay,
very
like I mean,
clear.
not charming, but funny. Like I don't know, kind of harmless.
We're
That's
still
the way I
judging
think.
you. I'm
no.
sorry.
Okay,
Because here's the
judge me,
thing,
judge me.
Yolanda,
But
I need to tell you this. The first time I even ever knew that Shane Dawson was a human person, um, was with the Jeffree Star documentary.
okay, so I
And when he
caught
was
him
See, I
before
knew of him
I was
before
before
all
like,
that,
that,
I
but
don't
but I
like,
understand.
unsubscribed and I don't care anymore. Right? Where
But
I
when people
found
said he had millions of subscribers, I was like, for what? Like that was like
like
that was
again,
exactly my thought. For what?
the way Gabby described it, it's like I found him not super early on, but early-ish, and I was like, that's a fucking character. Or I was just like,
He's the guy
whatever
who goes
you
like this.
are, you're the kind of guy that I would not feel comfortable in the same room with for multiple reasons. So I'm gonna not watch this.
yeah,
And I
so
fell
like, but
into the trap
I
of
jumped off that boat real quick. Okay,
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
got
say
you.
that
I got
I jumped off that boat real quick. Where I found Manny, my experience of Manny is that he was being mean to a fan. He had to do an apology video where he
Yeah.
was mean to a fan. My personal experience. I was bullied as a kid. I know what that fucking look is.
Yeah.
I will never ever fucking forgive him. And nothing in his behavior has said to me that he's not a mean girl. Like I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it with Manny. I do not support like whatever. So like that's it. Where I caught Tati was boring, instant click off. Where I caught like and the thing about like listen, all of these personalities the mess was to keep our attention. The mess is always to
Yeah.
keep our attention because
Yeah.
they're boring. They're boring. They're boring.
So
They
here's what I'm
don't
gonna
add
say.
value.
Yeah.
When you find a new creator, y'all subscribe. Just immediately subscribe. I know that this sounds counterintuitive, but subscribe. If it turns out they're up to fuckery, unsubscribe, move on. But just go ahead and subscribe
If
and
you like
watch their
them, by
yeah,
the
like
way.
no,
Like
yeah.
I
If
just
you
want to say.
find like that's what I mean by if you find a new creator, like if you find that new creator, you like them, subscribe, and then if you find out they're up to some shit, you know,
And then
unsubscribe,
you
move
walk
on. But
away.
the
You
thing
walk
is,
Yeah.
away. And
subscribe, and when you subscribe, because I figured this out. This is not me telling you this for me, for you to watch me, for you to watch any of my friends here.
Yeah.
It's literally because I figured out how to work my algorithm. If I find someone new, the second that a video of theirs is recommended to me, whether I can actually watch the video or not, I just play it. I just like if they because like YouTube's algorithm is all about playing a game of recommending something, and if you say like not right now or you don't watch it or whatever, they'll stop recommending it to you. That's how come your notifications get fucked up. All of that. So what I figured
except
out is that
except when it comes to the
big
Tatis,
creator,
the
yeah.
Yeah.
Shane
But if you're like
Dawsons,
for
the
your
Jeffree
smaller
Stars,
creators,
we
for
have to
all
watch
of
that
you,
shit. And I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
yes, for all of you who sit there and you're like, I am not getting the noties for my smaller creator. That's why you
Yeah.
literally have to like fucking program the algorithm
But
to
even
understand that you
I
want to
just
watch
want
it.
to say, but also even then the algorithm will still not
It's
treat
still
you
Yeah,
gonna
like
be
well.
I
Like
mean, a lot
cheesy,
of people
but
will say the algorithm will cater to your taste. Bullshit, because
no, only TikTok.
Tati showed up in
TikTok
my
Yeah.
feed, and I was like, where the fuck? And this is under my channel name. I had like like my own
Yeah.
personal,
Yeah, TikTok's
Gmail,
algorithm's different than
whatever.
YouTube
So like,
Oh
because
yeah, no,
TikTok
TikTok
literally
algorithm
like
is
knows that I'm queer AF
perfection.
and only gives me like queer black content. Like that's all I
I've
queer
said
black content with
this
pets.
always. Like if YouTube could get the TikTok algorithm, I think YouTube would be fucking unstoppable. But they don't. So
I will tell you this, Shadowless. What I've realized is that this is going to sound so terrible. Please, nobody come for me. Don't cancel me. So if
Wait.
I have to
Hey,
choose
Tina
in
Love.
between, hi Tina. If I have to choose between like watching like somebody like if for instance Tina's here.
I
So
was like, the
if a
ears be
Tina
on
video
fire.
comes
We were
on
talking
and a
about it
Jackie
earlier.
video comes on at the same time, I choose Tina every time
Yeah.
because I know that the algorithm isn't going to do the thing that it needs to do for Tina unless I consistently choose Tina. I have to keep choosing Tina because if I keep choosing Tina, then the other people that they haven't been giving like the notification to, they'll start giving that notification, being like, well, every time Audra chooses Tina. So they'll start giving this
Every
notification to
time
other people.
every time we do new makeup nonsense bingo, I started it with Teresa. I still watch
Mhm.
Audra's video first because fewer subscribers, or if Yolanda has put up a video at the same time.
Yes.
Like, um,
It's
and
like
I
this
don't
weird
think
circle of shit we're doing.
and
I
the thing
know,
is
like, you
it's
know how
okay
bothered I
to
was by Tati. I missed. Well, one, I opened up the folder for new makeup nonsense bingo, and I was like, I'm gonna know by bitches. Like, none of this is interesting to me. Like, no, and I don't go on a no buy for any, like, listen, I've
I'm on
been
a bye
poor.
bye bye because I'm about to have a regular ass job and I'm
No,
spending
yeah,
like the last
like
bit
for
of my
me,
tax
what
money.
you know what
Audra,
my
why
no
did
buys is about. No, no buys are about like y'all don't have shit for me. I saw that brunette palette. I was like,
okay,
four
I
of
just
those
had to
shades ain't gonna have those. Four,
I
I
was
love milk.
Tina,
I
you
love
missed the
milk.
part where we were talking about you earlier. We were talking about like where people were like, "Oh my god, Tati's back," and we're like fucking Tina doesn't have the most in depth reviews on this bitch. Like Kelsey
yeah,
doesn't, like Kelsey
specifically
Jonte.
that it was
Like
like,
yes,
oh my god, Tati's reviews are back, and I'm just like, y'all are.
Listen. Tina and
so
I like okay, so like, and I don't know if you can see on camera. I'm Dayglow Orange, so Tina and I are in the same shade range, but she's neutral, and I'm like so like I watch Tina because she's my shade twin, not in the like I'm not neutral like Tina is, but I'm very very warm. But I will watch those because she like her skin tone is in the range. Do you know how hard it is for black, especially the medium blacks? The medium blacks are into commentary.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh.
you said the medium blacks because like
I
I'm like what like I feel like I'm deep skinned. But like here's the thing, like photos always make me seem like I'm lighter skinned than I am.
listen. I'm looking at myself in this camera right now. And I'm like, I'm half a light skinned woman. I'm not light skinned.
I
I'm
know I'm not light
not.
skinned
Okay.
either.
I have
I'm
a
dark
hard time with my
skinned. I
foundation.
am
Okay.
dark skinned goddess bitches. So here's the thing. We're gonna have to roll out of here fairly quickly because my food's gonna come and I'm gonna eat. Let
And
me
we've
just be
been on
honest
a
about
roll
what's gonna happen.
tonight, to be
I'm
honest.
sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all
No, don't
saucy.
Never be
apologize.
sorry
We
because
adore
first of all,
you.
we need to have you on again because you're fantastic and fabulous.
Yes.
Um, and I will leave y'all with this. It's always gonna be up to you. One of the things that I
Yeah.
realized that I needed to get out of was the idea and mentality of forcing people to believe the way that I want to believe. If you want to fucking follow Jeffree Star, if you want to fucking follow Tati, if you want to do all that shit, you do it. But here's the thing that I'm begging you, we're all begging you to do. Just be fucking honest about what you're doing.
Thank you.
Just be
And
Yes.
that's
fucking
it.
honest.
That's it. If Tati came on
Please
and was
stop
like her
saying they
whole ass self,
thank you.
thank you. Don't
Just
lie to
be
me.
honest.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
the
fine
thing.
if you're on it and you just go, I just like them. I'm cool with you. The only reason I am breathing down some of y'all's necks is because you fucking lie.
Yes.
You lie.
Why you
And like
Because
always
that's the problem I
lying?
have. Don't lie about why you're supporting him. Don't be like, oh, like listen, he's racist. It's fine. Just say you like the makeup. Just say you like him. It's fine. I'm
yeah,
not mad about you liking somebody because you like them because
I'm
identity
mad when
shit,
you lie
identity
though.
is weird. How you identify as a person and to other people, that shit is weird. It's personal, but be honest. Just say
And
you
that's
like
it.
them and
That's
stop
it.
trying to
Yeah.
like say like, will they apologize? It seems that they're sorry. It seems this. Just say you like them. It's okay. Because
Yeah.
And
you cannot
honestly,
be racist. You
on
can still support the racist. If even if you're not racist, I'm still gonna side eye you, but I'm gonna tell you Just be honest.
And this actually goes right into the topic for we're doing a stream on Saturday on Mia's Virtual Vanities channel about separating the art from the artist, and I feel like
Bullshit.
that is
Bullshit.
yes, no,
the art is the artist. Stop. Stop.
but this goes into that when people
It
try to
will.
say, but I just like their makeup. Okay, then admit that you're okay with supporting a racist because you like their makeup.
No, you like
Yeah.
the makeup and the racism. Stop lying. Stop lying.
And-
Why are you always
Well,
lying?
Before we
some of
roll
y'all
out
do.
of the
I'm
no
sorry.
bag, please
Sorry.
know this. Keep in mind that your favorite Black creators don't always have a bunch of different places to go. So sometimes we're forced to support brands that are da 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 shit. So please don't treat us shitty and be like, you support. Listen,
I
don't have it
I
all
don't
good
judge
to
you
do.
buying from the brands. Look,
No.
I have some Estee Lauder in here that like I depend on.
do
Like
I.
like I do not begrudge anybody what they buy. Like who you support though, I'm judging.
I would agree with that. I have
I'm
a
judging.
little, and also I just wanted to add, if you're honest that you're still actually following them, it makes a lot more sense when they continue to grow. Because
Thank you. And
the thing
also,
that I hate is like everyone's like, oh yeah, I don't support this person anymore. You're still subscribed. You're still watching.
and
Go ahead.
finalmente, when they bite you, don't come crawling. Don't come screaming. Don't be like, oh my God, there was something. We don't want to hear it. And on that note, please make sure that you check out Yolanda's video. It is in the description box below. Please make sure you're following all three of us on all of our platforms. I am drunk and don't have any more words. So I will see patrons. I'm actually still going to see you on Sunday, even though it's not movie night. We're going to talk about the things. And I love y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for a
Yes.
wonderful
Thank
night.
you for having me, y'all. I like. Thank
We
you.
will
Thank
have
so
you
much.
You are
again.
always welcome
You are
back.
always welcome, Yolanda. You
Yes.
never have to like truly ask. And I spelled your name right this time. Bitch, I'm fucking winning. All right, y'all. As you know, it costs $0 to be kind. It's so good for your soul. If you don't know already, I can actually, I can take care of that. I can. Until next time.
Don't test Audra.
XOXO. Got the girl.
Bye.